Ready, set, podcast.
Off breakfast. Let's get some pancakes and the mystery food from Christine.
Welcome to The Breakfast, the breakfast portion of Dread and Breakfast, where we talk about the story that you just listened to. We also do a fun breakfast segment where Christine makes something cursed.
Eee, did you come hungry?
So how'd y'all like that story?
That was a lot.
It was excellent.
I have so many questions.
Yeah. There was a lot going on. I have never felt so confused and angry before.
Oh no, I don't know if that's a good thing.
We'll talk about it.
I did really enjoy how, like, our first story was very, like, typical horror, ghosty ghost, whatever. And this was much more of, like, everyone is paranoid and so afraid of each other, which was really fun. And also, here's a ghost.
Yeah, the whole, like, not being able to trust anybody, like, really gave it another level. I think that was kind of where my paranoia came from because, like, in the first one, we kind of knew, like, we were all on the same team. In this one, like, I went into it thinking, oh, well, Jacob, Marissa, and I are all on the same team. And as it went, I was like, maybe we're not. Also, I know how chaotic Fabrice is as a person, so I wouldn't put it past him to have instructed one of us to actually be the murderer.
That's fair. I appreciate that. I wish that I had done that.
I would like to know, like, what was it like running it, creating it? Because there seemed to be, like, a lot of moving pieces going on.
Yeah. I guess making it was really daunting at first. So I came up with the NPCs who you all have now met and who all one by one fell into various stages of unconsciousness.
Or death with Silas, who I adore more than life itself, and I knew he was going to die because he had to.
Okay, can we please reveal the way that Fabrice got into his Silas voice every single time?
Yes, I did just have to go, Morgan Freeman, Morgan Freeman, Morgan Freeman. And then I would be in my Silas voice, and it's fine.
And what about your Percy voice?
His voice, I just shook my hand a lot, and it works.
It was really entertaining to watch when we were together for the first part of this story, to watch you, like, physically switch. There was, like, I think one point when Silas and Percy were having a conversation and you just sat there going, Morgan Freeman, and then shaking your hand and then going, Morgan Freeman, yes.
Yeah, that's why that first session took over 3 hours.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
It was bad. Yeah, it wasn't good, y'all. But yeah, I guess, Marissa, to answer your question, once I had the characters kind of figured out and, like, what they wanted out of the evening and what they were, I guess, willing to do to get it, it was a little bit easier. By the second session, I didn't really know what people were going to do. Like halfway through the second session, I was like, oh, well, there go my notes.
Oops.
So, no, which is fine. I never have a problem with that.
What was the biggest, like, turning point that caused you to be like, well, now we're just winging it?
I have a guess.
All right, Jacob.
Was it when I swung a pipe at a guy?
It was when you swung a pipe at a guy. That
was session
was
3,
a big
though.
one.
That was
session. Oh no, that was session 3, and that was very much a, I didn't see that one coming. The other one was Jill, when you, like, were like, okay, and then you were, like, following the trail of stuff in the backyard, and then you found the ghost stuff.
I loved that scene, by the way. I felt alive when we were recording that.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I felt alive when I got to hit a guy with a pipe.
That's great.
And when I hit a guy with a wrench.
Oh, you're all doing, like, such good stuff with crimes.
So much violence.
I know.
I felt also really vindicated when I got to like have the hero's maneuver, because I've died in every other game that we've played.
Yes.
I was really happy for you with that. If I was unhappy with anything with the second story as a whole, it would be stuff that I did. It's mostly like I would have liked to try and figure out a way to bring great grandma's ghost back into the story after she was just kind of like put away, but we were very far off what I had expected to happen.
What did you expect to happen? Can I ask?
So I was expecting the Mexican standoff in the ghost room. Like that I figured would happen.
Oh, so much paranoia.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I really liked that. I thought that was great.
It was horrible for me personally.
I'm so sorry.
I was like, screaming at you. I don't know if that made the final edit, but yeah, I was like screaming at Fabrice and like banging on the table because I couldn't handle what was happening.
So I expected that. I did not expect us to use Grandma's ghost as kind of like a magical tell us what is going on kind of thing. I then didn't expect people to, because you did it both ways. You split up, but then you came back together, and I was prepared for you to like start doing one of those things, and then also like I didn't think that most of what happened would have happened.
I loved the scene where Sienna and Percy came back and used the chair as a decoy. That I was so endeared to
really
Percy,
cool.
even though he had just admitted to killing great grandma.
Yeah, I really liked all of the NPCs in this one because they all felt like real living people. I did have a question about Reggie though, because fuck that guy. But why? Because we know he wanted the money. Why was he so desperate for it? Like, what drove him this far?
That was my failing. So very early in, I think the first one, there was like a crash upstairs, right?
Yes. I still regret not looking at it, but it's okay.
It's okay. It was Reggie kind of like having a tantrum in his room. He's just like deep in like he's living here. He was living with Silas to kind of like help take care of him and like, you know, keep him company. He also is just poor and destitute and has absolutely nowhere else to go.
Oh,
And
yikes.
he really needs the money because he's used to a certain, shall we say, lifestyle. And he is just like, he does not have the means for that anymore.
It's real funny that we dressed him up as a fucking poor guy then.
Yeah.
At the beginning, that's pretty good.
It was a good goofer.
I have to say that when Jill was hitting him with the wrench, there was a moment when I was thinking as we were playing, I was like, wow, like Jill's husband is dead. And now she is about to strike down her brother-in-law. Like, that's a very intense set of events to have occur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabrice, what are some of the things that you sprinkled in? Because I think there was definitely a moment, well, at least personally, I was not understanding the like trail that was supposed to lead back to him, like being the murderer. So I don't know if you want to kind of explain some of the things that you set up that maybe I missed or the listener may have missed.
Yeah, Christine, I think for us, it's that it was several months between our first recording and the second one. And so I think a lot of the things in that one weren't fresh or even anywhere remotely near the forefront of our heads. So mostly it was that so Percy and Abbott go looking for stamps in the great room, and they look in a spot where Percy knows there to be a stamp, and it's gone.
Oh.
Like Percy had Abbott looking in a very specific spot. It was inside the deer. And we know that Carson found his stamp under his chair. It is at least what he says. And then when everyone kind of met together in the entrance hall and they heard the scream, Reggie comes in from outside and he says he was looking for his stamp, when the assumption I think is that like he would already have one if the one that Percy thinks is there isn't anymore.
I see. Yeah.
I do want to say, because I don't remember when this happened in the first story, because like when you heard the crash, I don't remember if it was like when you had already come back with Reggie after dressing him up as a poor person, but like the crash was meant to like lead you into his room. It was like a vase breaking in his like bedroom, and you would find it like torn apart and like just notes and stuff where he's like just rambling about like not having any money and like overdue bills and things like that.
Yeah, I liked that Reggie and all of us were kind of more ambiguous, where it's like, oh yeah, all of us could have probably killed this poor old man at the end. So
There was even a point when I was like, did I kill this man? And I forgot. Like,
I was also getting very suspicious of you.
of me.
I don't remember why, but yes. I was very much like, oh, something's going on.
Well, because I had the gloves and I was being cagey about it on purpose.
Yes.
And then when Abbott went after Carson with the pipe, and like it was so funny to me because like you like as yourself as a player at that point you knew you were doomed already, and you were like, should I just attack him?
Yes.
And I myself was like, yeah, do it. And then as a player I was like, oh no, that's suspicious. And at this point I couldn't tell if Fob was like double crossing us with like our own characters or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I encouraged you to do that, and then immediately got suspicious, which I think then made you suspicious of me. It was just like a whole mess for a while.
Yeah, no, and I was like, okay, we've been stuck in the standoff for a while, and I'm doomed, so I'll get the story moving and do something.
Yeah.
But I think instead I incapacitated someone with a lot of answers.
You just incapacitated someone who I was like, oh yeah, if I can guarantee anyone's gonna make it through this, it's gonna be Carson. He's like the milk toast person. Yeah, basically. I
That's
was like,
funny.
I mean, he did make it through. He was just unconscious.
fair.
I would like to just shout out to Jacob for the Abbott voice. The very first night that we were recording,
Yes.
I could not contain myself when you popped out
That's
this
another reason it took 3 hours.
accent. Oh my gosh, I was dying. It was so good, and your character work on this episode was just really phenomenal.
Jacob, can you tell us more about Abbott? I'm so curious.
Yes.
I'm so curious.
Oh, so much of Abbott's stuff hasn't come up.
Oh
and
my gosh.
I, just didn't, and it's just so good.
I spent too much time on the backstory, probably, but his father founded the seaside amusement park, or he started a carousel and grew it into a seaside amusement park.
Aw.
And then Abbott took it over, and then Silas joined the business for some reason that we never established. And then the flag-based amusement chain opened in town, and we couldn't compete.
Oh, no.
And Silas pulled out for some reason we couldn't establish. And then I might have contradicted this in the episode, I don't remember, but on the character sheet at least, the amusement park got torn down, and it was just the carousel left, and it was Carousel Pier or something.
Aw.
And I was like living in the shed of the carousel, and people thought I owned like the whole condo establishment, but really I didn't, and I was poor.
Oh no.
And it was that's why I needed the money.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's so
That's
sad.
a whole another layer. Wow.
Jacob, Abbott is perhaps the best character I've ever met in my entire life.
Well, he would have been better if any of that had come out or had any effect on the story. It was pretty much just like, I decided I want money, and then I got money, and then it was like, cool, I would like to leave. And that was my character.
But that's still very
in the
good.
story.
I echo everything Christine said.
And I think it definitely came across in your performance that you had thought so much about his backstory. Even if those details didn't come out, like you were able to even more inhabit your character. So that's really awesome.
Well, thank you. I tried. It was easier now that we're not in the same room.
Oh, really?
And I don't have to look at you laugh at me.
I'm sorry. I promise you that all of my laughter was like pure joy and elation because I've known you since high school, and I don't think I've ever heard you speak in an accent before. And so it was just like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird for me.
Also, Avid Aquarius is a really excellent name.
It's so good.
I was just delighted to see this character be omitted from your person. It brought me so much joy.
I also really like Jill. Like, I thought, like, it was so,
Yes.
like, we needed that, like, no bullshit, straight, like, this is what we're doing character, because we were all a fucking mess. And, like, I wish that we had more time to get into her, like, and Travis, like, her dead husband or whatever, because I thought that was a really interesting dynamic. Like, we touched on it.
Yes.
Right? For, like, in, like, the first episode for, like, a second.
Yeah. I think I also lost that, like, just because of how long it took between when we were recording the episodes.
Yeah.
I almost just kind of forgot that aspect of my character. So I'm curious if I had, like, kind of re-remembered that, how I might have played her differently. I actually based a lot of Jill's temperament on my sister.
Ooh.
Because my sister is someone who I see as a very, like, logical person. She's able to make decisions very rationally. She is a nurse. So kind of just thinking about, like, how would she approach this? And hopefully she's
that's
not listening
very
to this and
cool.
be like, I wouldn't have acted that way at all. What are you talking about? You know, so maybe it's just this imagined character of my sister as a nurse. So, you know, there's some filters there to that. But then it also was hard for me to not just become totally unhinged because of my own personal, like, inability to keep my emotions down. I think there were a couple points when Jill got a little more out of control than I would have wanted her to. But that's,
I mean,
just
to be
'cause-
fair, it was kind of a crazy circumstance, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I loved Sienna.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
thought she was annoying
I
as
think-
shit.
No, I think she was adorable, and, like, I don't know, like, you just brought this really good, like, well, obviously if we're doing this, then, like, why would we do this? Like, and, like, you just, like, Sienna was a really good character for asking really important questions, and it always felt very natural to her character
Yeah.
that she would be, like, probing through the situation the way that you had her do.
That makes me feel so much better to say, because, like, in her character sheet, like, she's an archivist, so she's very much used to, like, researching questions and finding things out. One thing that didn't come up in here at all that I thought about, I just didn't see an opportunity for it to come out, was that prior to the events of the story, her immediate family had gotten ostracized, right? And it wasn't actually because of French onion soup.
Oh.
It was because Sienna stole some of great grandma's jewelry to give to her brother to help him pay for college, because he was just super, like, he, like, blew all his money and, like, couldn't afford it and whatever. And they thought he had done it, so they just kicked all of them out of the family. And so initially, like, when the ghost came up in the first episode and, like, was, like, yelling, Sienna was like, oh shit, she knows I stole her shit. And then we just never, like, got a chance to address that, because
Yeah.
it became very clear that her anger was directed elsewhere. So that's something I wish I would have done a little differently, just because Sienna didn't really have that big of a motive vis-a-vis killing people. And that, I think, would have muddied things a little bit, but oh well.
I think that's okay. Like, the character sheets are there to, like, I think help us make the characters, not necessarily that, like, each piece of these people is going to be represented in the dread.
That's fair. I still have lots of, and we don't have to answer all of them, because I'm like Sienna. I need to know everything at all times. But I have so many more questions about, like, what was Carson's whole fucking deal, and how did great grandma get out of the cage to be in the mirror?
So-
and, like,
My idea for her, and my idea for, like, ghosts in general, at least with regards to this season, is that they get stronger with time and also with, like, emotion as they kind of, like, Like they lose more and more of themselves, which is why she looked like, gaunt and creepy.
Okay.
So they get stronger, but it's less of them and more of like just the emotion. And so Maribel has been around as a ghost for a while now, and she hasn't been able to do the thing that she needs to do in order to like pass on, which is interact with Percy and either like forgive him or kill him. She's lacking closure, and Silas is kind of an asshole because he's not letting her get that because he wants to keep her around, and he's trying to work on like ghost technology so that like they can kind of still have some sort of semblance of a relationship. It's why he has like the ghost gauntlets and everything.
Aww.
But it's obviously not working, and she's less and less herself, and because like time is elapsing and things, she can sort of like manifest through the iron, the cage, but just never like all of her, if that makes sense. And so like it's never like a full manifestation, but she can like project herself through it, as we saw when she went through Abbott.
Oh, that's really cool. I like it.
I was so, I guess, like shocked when we found like the room. Like it just like, I definitely thought that it was going to be much more of a like Clue, like whodunit kind of thing. Like I don't know, there was just like a certain point when like things switched, and like the initial story of like, we've gathered for this reading of the will and let's find the stamps, and then it like just totally like went in a whole new direction. It was very entertaining and exciting, but also like a little bit confusing because it was like, okay, wait, what's my goal here? But I think that was really well done.
To your point, Christine, I think it was at the end of episode 2 of this story where all of our jars were like on the floor, and it's like, oh, this is so far beyond what we thought it was, and we all had to like recontextualize like this is so much bigger. It was a really, really cool moment.
That makes me really happy, actually. Thank you.
So what happens to Percy? Is he okay?
I think we can leave. I think it's more fun if the listener gets to decide what happened.
Oh, but I want to know so badly. I'm very conflicted on Percy because yes, he did a big whoopsie and did kill great grandma and lied about it, but I also love him as a character because like yes, he killed her, but he also admitted it and then is taking steps to protect the rest of the family from Reggie.
I have a question about Percy that might shift all of this.
Oh no.
When Sienna was rummaging through his stuff looking for a weapon, he was very quick to be like, no, don't you rummage through my stuff.
Oh, that's true.
And I found that very suspicious.
What is your question?
What was going on there? Why didn't he want her to rummage?
Oh, that's fair. Rummaging makes lots of noise, and she had just told him that there was a murderer about the house, and he didn't want the murderer to hear lots of noise coming from his bedroom.
I don't know if I believe you.
I mean, I have no reason to lie now at this point. This is the podcast.
This is true.
This is the end of the...
I'm still suspicious.
Okay, that's fair. You're allowed to be suspicious.
There's a level of trust that can never be repaired after we played this episode.
Oh no. God.
And thwack. All right, everyone. It's time for Christine's Kitchen.
Are you ready to rumble?
Rumble indeed.
Surprise, surprise. We actually recorded this literal months ago.
So long.
That was a long time ago. Since then, several of us have moved. A number of us had experienced sicknesses, COVID and non-COVID. It's been a time. So what you're about to listen to was recorded on different mics a long time ago. So it might sound different, but deal with it. It sounds good. It's fun.
And since then, we have also shifted to recording remotely. So we are doing this safely, but with some additional technical fun times that Jacob gets to figure out. Yay, Jacob!
Yay, Jacob!
So with that, let us travel back in time to a moment of culinary mystery and intrigue. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Christine's Kitchen. Today on Christine's Kitchen, creme brulee. Frequently a member of restaurants' dessert menus. Oh, look at how fancy it is. It has an accent on the name. But alas, it is rarely created to perfection. So this week I decided, why not just go completely apeshit with it? That's right. We're not trying to perfect creme brulee. We are trying to destroy it. And by destroy, I mean take it in a completely opposite direction. So today we have savory creme brulee. I would like to begin by having you all taste it and then let me know what you think is in it. Jacob, you're not allowed to tell them because you watched me make it.
Can we talk about the appearance really quick?
Yes.
Because flashing back to the kimchi ice cream, which
this is an improvement.
it looks very beautiful. You have some, they're in beautiful little ramekins. Oh, thank you very much.
I
I'm gonna
purchased
take
these
this one.
from Target specifically for this experiment.
Yeah, there is some, is this cheese?
It is.
On top?
It
looks-
is.
I am getting kimchi flashbacks though because it is orange, like
This
the
is
kimchi.
not-
Yeah, but this is like orange in the broiled cheese sense, not pickled cabbage.
It could be a thing of mac and cheese. This could be a terrible joke to play on somebody.
That's true. But the fact that
I would be delighted if I thought I wasn't eating mac and cheese and then found out I was eating mac and cheese. Are you kidding me?
No, I was thinking the other way. Be like, here's your mac and cheese. Surprise. It's actually a dessert cheese.
Dessert cheese is a thing.
I'm aware.
I have an insane idea for another kitchen. Okay. Anyway.
is it perhaps
Write
cheese tea?
write it down. And remember that I'm lactose intolerant.
I know. I thought about that as I put a pint of heavy cream into a saucepan earlier today.
Oh, no.
So, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've guessed one ingredient. It is heavy cream.
Oh, surprise. There's cream in creme brulee.
But the fact that we have to guess ingredients makes me a little bit nervous.
It does.
It shouldn't.
Okay.
It's not going to hurt you. I just want to know how well refined your palates are. This is me judging you.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Just kidding.
I'm
I
going
wouldn't judge
in.
you. All right. Is it working? Are you satisfied?
No.
It's very curdly.
Goopy?
Okay, I just tasted this expecting sweet, and I was the one who made it, and I know what's in it. What is wrong with me?
I mean, it just tastes like a cream of potato soup, but without the potatoes.
It's not soup, Jacob.
It's basically soup.
It's not soup.
It does kind of taste
egg
like
soup.
potato soup.
It's soup plus an egg.
Everything is either a soup, a sandwich, or a salad.
We
and
can't-
This
we
is
can't
a soup.
start-
This is not where we have this discussion.
This sounds like exactly the place where we should have that discussion.
Listeners, allow me to help. All food is either a soup, a salad, or a sandwich. Jacob, name a food.
Hot dog.
Hot dog is obviously a sandwich.
Yeah, that's
Very
easy.
That's super easy. Okay.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios, like soup. That's easily soup.
Or is it a salad?
No, it's not. It's okay. Depends. Is there milk in my Cheerios? If there's milk, it's a soup. If there's not milk, then it's a salad.
Dressing.
What?
Is milk a dressing?
No.
Is dressing a milk?
No.
I'm dead. I am deceased.
No. You're both wrong.
Anyway,
milk
back
is
to
a
the
soup.
creme brulee.
Back to the egg soup.
So this is...
So imagine like a cream of anything soup where it just tastes like cream and a little bit of onion, and then take out the whatever it is of. So it's just cream soup, but with no broth, just cream and some flavor, and then cheese on top.
There's an herb in here, and I can't place which one it is, and it's killing me slowly. Sage. Time.
No?
Rosemary?
No?
Bay leaves?
No. It's somewhere between thyme and bay leaves. I think rosemary was also a good guess. It's kind of obscure.
Oregano.
No.
Do you give up?
No,
I do.
I don't. Coriander.
Does this taste like cilantro to you?
Coriander doesn't taste like cilantro to me.
Coriander is cilantro.
I'm aware, but it doesn't taste like cilantro.
It's the evolved form of.
I think cilantro is the evolved form because coriander is the seeds.
Yeah, coriander is the scrub.
I'm a dumb.
You just haven't played enough Pokemon.
That's very true.
I've played no Pokemon and I figured that out.
Well, listen, this is Christine's kitchen, and maybe in Christine's kitchen cilantro is. I think so. We're serving this warm. I think the texture would be improved if it was cold, but the cheese would not. I wonder if it's because I messed up one step in the recipe.
What did you mess up in the recipe?
You're supposed to bring the cream back up to a scald after you let the thing steep in it.
Just tell us
to flavor it.
No. Okay, hang on. It's not parsley, is it?
No.
That wouldn't.
Parsley has more of like a mint effect. It's not mint, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something else in here besides the herb.
Is it leeks?
It is! Excellent job!
It tastes a lot like leeks.
Yes, it is leeks. Yes. So I have never cooked with leeks before.
Okay.
And when I went to the grocery store to purchase the leeks, I arrived at the cashier, and the guy behind the cash register holds it up and looks at it for a second, and he goes, "What is this?" And I said, "It's a leek." And he goes, "Ah, okay." And he turns to his computer, and his hand hovers over the numbers for a second. He goes, "I don't know the code for leeks." And so then he yells across the room, and he's like, "Tim, what's the code for leeks?"
That's pretty
And Tim
good.
yelled back, 78432 or something. I don't know what the number is. But I then assured him, I said, "No worries. I've never cooked with leeks before, so we're both experiencing something new."
Oh my God.
Did he appreciate that?
He did.
So okay, it's leeks. It's heavy cream. It's not thyme. It's not rosemary.
No.
I am going to Google types of herbs.
Unauthorized aid.
Search.
Is it an alphabetical list?
Tarragon.
That's what it is. Yes, that is correct.
What do I win?
I would never
You can
have
have the
guessed.
cheese off of mine. I could broil you some more cheese. We have some left.
The Parmesan on top is maybe my favorite part.
Same. So I think there were some texture issues, clearly, because it's very runny and it looks like it just didn't finish cooking. Like I probably could have kept it in the oven a little longer.
It tastes not bad. Like I enjoy it.
What every chef wants to hear.
It
tastes not bad.
but
I mean, like a quart of chicken stock, a couple chunks of potatoes, you got a good stew.
Yeah.
I like honestly this
But
would.
I wasn't making soup.
But you basically made soup.
But you did make soup.
No, wait. Savory cranberry.
You made
Don't do it.
gelatinous soup.
You're ruining it.
Soup jello.
Ew.
No, it's not Jello.
There's no gelatin in it.
Yeah, but it's gelatinous.
Thanks, eggs.
No, but it looks good. I would probably finish it if I wasn't full.
Really?
Probably, yeah.
I
Really?
also think that I would finish it if I wasn't full.
My heart has swelled 3 times the size.
But so
I am the
then-
Grinch of the kitchen.
So we rated the kimchi ice cream via cabbages. What is our rating scale? Cheeses?
I think leeks.
Leeks is good.
Or tarragons.
I like leeks.
Okay, leeks.
Bob, how many leeks would you give savory creme brulee?
So 0 cabbages.
Well, there's
5 leeks.
5 leeks out of total.
Out
What's
of
our-
5 leeks.
Out of 5. You would give this 5 out of 5?
I mean, it's very leaky.
Jacob, assuming you understand how rating systems work, how many leeks out of 5 leeks would you give this?
I'd have to say 4 leeks. It's like it's a quart of chicken stock and a handful of potatoes away from being a great soup.
Marissa.
I would give this 4.5 leeks.
Excellent. Well, there you have it, folks. Savory creme brulee made with leeks and tarragon. Average of 4.5 out of 5 leeks. If you would like to attempt this recipe and or finesse it, you can find it on the Christine's Kitchen corner of our website, dnbpod.com. there you can also find a picture of what it looked like when it came out of the broiler, which was beautiful. So, is this cursed?
Nah.
No.
'Tis a blessed creme brulee.
Christine's blessed corner. The blessings of cream upon all of you.
Whack.
And we're back.
Back.
A.
Soup.
No, it was soup. No, the one thing I do remember about that is that it was soup.
Well, all I can say is that I already know what I'm doing for the next breakfast, and y'all are in for a treat. I'm very excited about it.
I don't know if I'm about to be punished for comments that I've made today.
Do it. Yeah.
Do we want to tease the next story at all?
Oh yeah, who's going to be running our next story? Oh, who is it?
I'm going to be running the next story. And I'm really nervous about it, but I'm also very excited.
I'm delighted and excited, and I cannot wait.
I think it's going to be a fantastic adventure.
Thank you. Oh, before we go, we want to give a shout out. We have been using a virtual dread tower via Google Sheets. It is based on Dana Freed's blog post about playing Dread over Google Plus Hangouts, and it was built and designed by David Jose. So thank you very much for making that available. We would not be able to continue our podcast during this time without it. So we are very grateful to you. Thank you very much for that. Also, shout out to audiodrama.com for giving us a shout out. Audiodrama.com is an online directory with the goal of offering the most comprehensive listing of websites for audio drama enthusiasts. They recently gave us a little feature on their Twitter feed, which was super nice and awesome. So please go check them out at audio-drama.com.
But all this to say, we are super happy to be back and to be doing this, and we love you, and thanks for being here.
All right. Goodbye.
The end.
Thanks for listening to Dreaded Breakfast.
This episode sponsored by Cardboard Boxes, which has held all of my belongings for the past 2 weeks.
And mine for the next 2.
We'd like to thank Eli Schneider for our theme song and original music. You can check him out on Spotify. Additional sounds are credited in the episode notes. Thank you to our intern, Manon, at Manon Elise on Instagram, who created our amazing episode art for this story. You can follow us on Instagram at DNBpod. We're on Twitter at DandBfast. Or you can visit our website at dnbpod.com. And if you liked the show, be sure to give us a quick rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars and tell us how you take your coffee in the morning. Or if you're like Jacob, how you take your orange juice. I don't know, what do people drink when they don't drink coffee? Just like how a good breakfast takes time to incorporate all the love into the pancakes and bacon and what have you, we do the same for our stories. So stay tuned to our social media and we'll let you know when our next episode is about to drop.